Today I want to talk about the keys to trying to break 2,000 yards. It's not an ability. I don't think it's an ability. It's not having 99 overall. Look at these numbers here, right? This is Josh Jacobs. He's in the Packers playbook. It's not a great playbook for running. It's pretty good. It's a good balanced offense. But during all my testing of Saquon and trying to find abilities, every once in a while, not all the time, Saquon, Josh Jacobs, he'd have ridiculous seasons. One time he had 1,700 and missed a game. This time he had 1,876 yards, missed a game. You add his average together, he's at 1,993 yards. He's 7 yards away from 2,000. He's only a 93 overall player, and he has no abilities, and he's not in the best rushing playbook. I don't think it is. He only has 270 attempts. So why is he getting so close and not one of the better running playbooks? Okay, great balanced playbook. You want 1,600 yards, you got it. It's a good playbook for that. But look here. Broken tackles, 59. I've never seen a playbook go over 59 broken tackles. This is the most. He has 695 yards after contact. That is what it's all about. Every playbook has a certain number that it pretty much stops at as far as rushing goes. And then when it goes up and down, above that, it's all about the broken tackles. We'll take a look at him. Right, all right. So we're looking at him. Here he's 96 overall. This is him boosted a little bit, morale boost. This is at the end of this season that we just talked about. But he only has 93 truck, 93 stiff arm, 92 juke. He actually has better truck and stiff arm and strength than Saquon. Now he's slower, but he also, I think, has higher break tackle. So the key is breaking tackles. I did all I could with abilities and Saquon. That's who I was using. I got pretty darn close to these numbers when Saquon had an X factor and abilities. But it's random. You can't guarantee that you're going to break 59. You're going to break 59 tackles in a season. It goes up and down. But it's the key. And that's why I think power backs, strength, trucking, stiff arm, break tackle, they're far and away ahead of anything else. So I got to be honest. Josh Jacobs, I try to put him in good running playbooks, and it's just like I think you have to keep simulating. So let's run some tests and let's put Josh Jacobs in some good playbooks that we know rush for over 300 tries, which is like the Steelers and a couple of these other ones, and see what we get. Well, spoiler alert, we did not get anywhere close to breaking any type of records with Josh Jacobs in simulations that we did. It seems to be that he had a better chance of doing it as on his own when the team was controlled by the CPU. So I got no good examples for you. What I am going to talk about here, we're going to make this an abilities video. You might know the abilities already, but this is the most I ever got out of Saquon Barkley. 308 carries, 1,944 yards at 6.3 yards a carry, 14 rushing touchdowns, 114.4 yards a game, 56 broken tackles, 394 yards after contact. So this is in the Giants, And this is him only gaining 394 yards after contact. Imagine if he had a season of breaking tackles like Josh Jacobs did. Well, he would smash the record. So I feel like we're kind of in the right playbook. So let's go over the abilities, and I'm going to kind of make my guess of how breaking 2,000 yards might be possible. All right, this video is going to get all over the place because I've made this over many days, and we've had an update to Madden in between that. Whether or not that update affected anything, I don't know. But I'm going to talk about the ability stack that was on Saquon Barkley with the stats I just showed you. Now, it's been hard to replicate that season. I was in the Giants playbook for that, and you can use West Coast power run, or you can use multiple power run. I think that you get more broken tackles and more rush attempts using multiple power run scheme and playbooks, which are a few. You got the Steelers, the Raiders, I believe, and the Chargers, but we'll talk about the Steelers in a second. I want to give you the ability stack I had on Saquon that got 1,800 yards. In my opinion, you need a power back, but I had Saquon brace for all hits. Derrick Henry, who gets more carries per yard, more yards per carry, he just has on for big hits. I've messed with this a couple times. I don't really see a difference in fumbles. Like maybe Saquon fumbles once. It doesn't matter. High motor, yes. You can. I don't think predictability really matters at all. So as far as that goes, abilities. Wrecking ball. Now, you don't want this fourth option. And if you do, you have to do something different. So I'll show you that in a sec. So you want second wind, steamroller. So second wind is players with this ability have a chance to replenish their stamina once per play when it's half depleted. Steamroller's ball carries with this ability to retain more of their forward momentum during tackles while traveling at high speeds. And then lastly, bruiser. Ball carries with this ability have more powerful truck and stiff arm animations. It's like having bulldozer, which is a truck animation, and armbar, which is stiff arm animation in one. So that's all I had on them. And once you put a fourth ability on, you can't take it away. So that's what I had on them. Now, in my Giants rebuild, when my running back got his fourth ability, it automatically put another ability there. If I could figure out how to take away abilities, that'd be awesome. So what I did was just put bulldozer and armbar in the last two spots and took away bruiser. But this is the stack that I had. Pretty simple. Now let's talk about Derrick Henry, because that's who we originally used months ago when we first were trying to crack the 2,000 yard mark. I mean, he's 6'3", 247. Very hard to find a back like that, but it's possible. He has 87th strength. Not many running backs with 87th strength, but in your rebuilds, if you find the coach with power running, I believe it is, or power back, you can boost your strength up over 85 for sure. He has 93 speed, only 88 acceleration with a boost, 84 agility, 97 break tackle. Break tackle is very big, of course. Carry, ball carry vision, trucking, stiff arm. Those are very big for breaking tackles. Of course, right? That's the kind of guy you want. And it's yards after contact. It's breaking tackles. A very big piece of it. And then on top of that, it's stamina, which he has 98. Injury, strength, staying healthy. You need carries, break tackle, yards after contact, stamina. Like that, those are huge things. And then you need your, trucking and stiff arm and break tackle, ball carry vision. But you can build this kind of guy in your rebuilds over a year. Here's his ability stack, and I'm going to show you what he did without me touching. This is his current ability stack, which wasn't far off from where we were the last time. Freight train, arm bar, tank. So basically, and then tank is ball carries with this ability will break almost any hit stick attempts made on them, backlash, and closer. I don't really think closer does anything, and I'm not really sure backlash does anything. So I'm going to show you what Derrick Henry did in the Steelers. Steelers, probably have to say, is the most guaranteed book of getting over 300 yards, and 300 carries in a season. I've seen backs get 330 carries. I've seen them get under 300. It can be random. That's another thing. It's not guaranteed that you're going to get 300 carries, but you need the attempts, and then you need the broken tackles and the yards after contact. And the best way to get the attempts is probably Steelers, right? And then you need that multi-power scheme, which for whatever reason helps improve carries and broken tackles. I mean, I've seen backs now with over 70 broken tackles and like 81 yards. Like, what the heck? I don't know what we're doing here, Madden. It can be very random. So I'm just trying to put us on the path of getting there. So let me show you some stats of Derrick Henry in Steelers and Derrick Henry in the Giants with multi-power run, with just this stack that he comes with. All right, so here you got Derrick Henry, multi-power run scheme in the Giants playbook with his stock abilities: 292 carries, 1,700 yards, 5.8 yards a carry, 21 rushing touchdowns, 100 yards a game, 74 broken tackles, and 371 yards after contact. And then here we have Derrick Henry in the Steelers playbook: 310 carries, over 1,800 yards rushing, 6.1 yards a carry, 27 touchdowns. What's that? 110 yards a game, 63 broken tackles, 330 yards after contact, 17 games. So if we can just build off of this and find the right stack, I think we might be onto it. We might have to change out of Giants. It just might be capped and go with a playbook that we can try to get 300 carries. Now, to be full disclosure, it took me 3 sims before I started going over 300 attempts. So it can be a little random. It's not exact. I feel like we need like a wing and a prayer and a lot of luck to somehow get this all to line up. All right, so we're going to take a look at the original stack we had a couple months ago. Freight Train was the X factor. You had Bruiser, which is combining 2 abilities, in my opinion, with powerful truck and powerful stiff arms. Tank, ball carries with this ability, break almost any hit stick tackle attempts made on them. Second win when we just went over, and Steamroller. So let's take a look at what this does in the Steelers playbook. All right, so this is the first season I got Derrick Henry to go over 300 yards in the stack. Only 1,700 yards, 5.4 yards a carry, 21 touchdowns, 100 yards a game. Now, remember, he's also not the third down back, so could that add more? We'll have to see. So I'm going to try to get some simulations in here with getting rid of Justice Hill and making Derrick Henry the third down back as well, and see what we can do. All right, so I got rid of the third down back, and it really didn't help that much more. Same amount of carries, It's just, man, if we could get Derrick Henry 317 carries, that's 6.1 yards average. We're going to do pretty good. So I need to work on trying to find the right stack again. I'm not sure this one is. This is his old stack, his original stack that he comes with. The old stack I put out there, just pretty much the same. So I don't know. Here's an example simulation of Derrick Henry getting over 100 yards a game, 16 games, but he had no abilities. He was just a star development, so not far off. I mean, the abilities aren't adding much, in my opinion. But what is interesting is this is Derrick Henry with no abilities, but I did take off brace for any hits. He's not bracing for any hits here, and he went up to 324 attempts, 16, almost 1,700 yards and 23 touchdowns. And then this one, I put predictability on. Carries kind of went down, touchdowns kind of the same. Yards went up a little bit. So I think we have to build off of this now. All right, so maybe brace for hits or bracing for any hits actually hurts. It hurt. And then, can we use abilities to build off of that? Since he's not bracing for hits, he's using his stiff arm, his truck, and maybe abilities will help that going forward. I don't really know. We got a lot of testing to do here. All right, one last thing here. This is crazy. Only 262 attempts. Why so small? 6.4 yards a carry, 16 touchdowns. Look at this, 88 broken tackles. This is me doing some testing here. I took off, what was it? Steamroller? He's got second win, tank, and bruiser. All right. We're getting close. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. Maybe you didn't. But I'm going to keep working at finding the right stack of abilities to take us just a little bit further to get us over that 2,000 yard mark. I'm determined to make it work. I think it can work. As you can see, running backs that are 99 overall, 98 overall do just as well without abilities as with abilities. But I think with abilities, we might be able to be more consistent and get over that last line of 2,000 yards. I'm not giving up. So I'm going to keep working on finding the right ability stack to make it work. That's not what this video was about. It was about what it probably takes. So if you could, maybe you could help me and see if with what I gave you so far, the abilities as discussed, maybe, just maybe, you can come up with your own stack that works with what we know so far. So I'm asking for your help, and we're a community. We do this together. It's very time consuming to change one ability at a time and then do multiple sims, because sometimes you do simulations and guys get hurt, or just it fluctuates. It's like sacks, it's like interceptions. It's all like depends. Do you get 300 carries plus? Do you break this many tackles? Do you get this many yards after contact? It's all like an equation. It's all kind of luck. Tell me what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think it's possible? Do you think breaking 2,000 yards rushing in Madden 25 is possible? We know crushing 2,000 yards receiving for a slot wide receiver in the Rams offense is possible, and getting other ridiculous numbers from slot wide receivers and other playbooks. Let's get a 2,000 yard rusher in Madden 25 before this Madden's over, right? All right. Well, anyway, my name is David. This is Franchise Survival. I will catch you next time right here.